Well, Samara, some Black Film TV. You created such a film out here that people are still going to be talking about it. You know, what went into the process of creating a dramedy?
I mean, what went into the process was really just truth, right? Truth and joy. You have to obey your crazy. You have to listen to yourself. You have to close out all the naysayers saying, oh, this is ambitious, this is difficult, you have to close out all of that, and you just have to kind of write your truth and tell the story you want to tell. But you also have to, you know, what went into it was a lot of patience. You have to pick the right time to make a movie like this, and not looking at the time of the planet, of the universe, but the time of your life, where you meet the right person. Casting Clarence would technically be the hardest thing to do. Like, it's an impossible role. He plays two characters, polar opposites, but the same, and they go through every single emotion. So the right time for me, I knew when it was time for me to make the Book Clarence, when the solar system, that is the place we live in, gave me LaKeith Stanfield.
You know, I've watched your movies throughout the years. This one's a big one for you. What did you do to embody this character you're playing? Not just one, but two.
I'm very gracious for Jeymes Samuel for creating such a beautiful script that made it easy to pick the character off the page and infuse them with me. I think that he has a really great eye to see what would be appropriate for a role like this. I felt like it was built for me. I feel like it was made for me. I feel like I am it. And I knew that it was something that felt so universal that other people would be able to see themselves in it. And importantly, young Black men would be able to see themselves in Clarence. I thought that was really important, and that Black people saw us in a light and in a form that we hadn't seen ourselves in often. And so I just knew, or ever really, and in this capacity. So I really, I knew it was going to be something special. And obviously I'd worked with Jeymes before. He is a singular figure, and I feel honored to be able to walk the earth and be able to create art with him. You know, it's a beautiful gift. So it didn't take very much convincing for me, and to find the character just took a little bit of excavation and figuring out what in me felt, connected to the characters in their different ways, and how I could understand. And through Jeymes and through his story, how could I understand? And things that I took from Jeymes to put into Clarence. I mean, the hair is directly inspired by him, and so it was a beautiful experience. It's great.
There are probably people out there who are not your average churchgoers, and so people are going to look at this and see, okay, how does this compare to other similar films? Especially come April and it's time for Easter. You get everything playing on TV, and they go like, "You need to see Clarence. That's a whole different take." Yeah. You say you don't want to get caught up in so much dramedy in there, but for you, what do you take from this film that's going to help you out, whatever project you do next?
I think, LaKeith and I were talking about, the extension, so how it extends you. And this film extends me as a human, in that it gives me a firm foundation, a firm security in my knowledge of self, like that I'm doing the right thing. When I have an idea, I have to obey my crazy. I have to obey that idea and close out everyone. And the Book of Clarence is a prime example of me being on the right path, me telling a story or writing a story that other people will relate to. The Book of Clarence is, if you know anything about LaKeith Stanfield and his own life, it's directly his life. It's directly my life. It's directly, So what I take away from, me personally taking away from the whole journey of making a movie, because the film we make is for the audience. The making of the film is for us. What I take away from it is knowing that my instincts are there for a reason, for a purpose, and I shouldn't shy away from them, and nor should anyone else. Our instincts are what makes us the artists we are. That's what our instincts, and that's what makes us want to put up the fights that we put against people saying you can't do this and you can't do that. From the minute you're born, people are telling you can't, and Clarence just tells you can. I'm from the hood. I gave you a Western and then a biblical movie. I'm from Harrow Road, Mozart Estate. Like, it's, you know what I
Doing well. Congrats on the film. Congrats on the
Really.
role. Congrats on putting in a lot of new faces that are going to be discovered.
Thank you,
You know,
my
from
brother.
RJ to Chase to Ad. Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Here we are playing yourselves in a movie that people say it's the Black Jesus movie.
Is that what they're saying?
Wow.
Coming into this, you have your choice. Did you have your choice of the role you wanted to play?
No, really, Jeymes luckily is a director that he can write characters that anybody could sit into and, kind of embody, but he also has a very, very fine-tuned comb of an eye for who needs to sit where and who can play where. So when he brought me to Elijah, it was because Elijah was who he seen while I was playing, on scenes. And of course, you got the auditioning process, but it was pretty spot on, to be honest. Jeymes just got a good eye for it, so it's
And what
like
about
he
yourself?
choose it.
What led you to say yes?
Jeymes Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had seen The Harder They Fall. I hadn't read the script, and I'd seen The Harder They Fall, and they told me he wanted to meet with me. So we met over Zoom, and he tells me about this movie. And I'm like, I've never heard of anything like this. This sounds brilliant. My heart was beating. Like, it was so exciting. And to know Jeymes is to know someone that has so much energy and so much love. So I was so moved by his pitching of it. And then, he told me that he had me in mind for the role of Varinia. And then once I read her in the script, I was so moved and so excited.
When you work with a cast like this, and you're working with Jeymes, and he's bringing out something out of you, what do you take from his direction that helps you as actors moving forward?
To not apologize, right, for breaking down the lines and walls that may be in a character space. We all get character breakdowns, right? But when you're with Jeymes Samuel, you barely get to see the breakdown only. The character breakdown is how we kind of book it, right? Because that's cool. But once you meet Jeymes and he gives you it's almost like you start from scratch. Because then he lets you build your own mansion, to be honest. He's just like, cool. As long as you build it in these lines of the property, you can build however how you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever break character and just started laughing? Because some of these scenes are like, where are they going with this?
Yes.
I would imagine that would happen for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
RJ.
Dancing, being able to play with LaKeith most of the time and then be directed by Jeymes, it's like working with your brothers, to be honest, because that's what work. It wasn't even work, to be honest. I just felt like I was going back and forth with the homies. So it's that much more fun.
And people can say they've seen their versions of a biblical film. What about yourselves? We're all in this business, but we all watch movies. This is definitely nothing like we've seen before, but had you seen anything similar to this in some areas?
I mean, The Harder They Fall, because again, it's a story that we're familiar with. It's a Western, but we've never seen it with people that look like this. So this is very much that as well. What else would have reminded me of the Book of Clarence?
There's a lot there.
I don't.
How was the
Maybe
set
kind of
like?
like quit.
The set was crazy
Yeah.
because we were there in material Italy.
Yeah.
And to be able to first drink in the spectacle of the town itself was amazing. It took you probably like a good 3 seconds to appreciate what you were looking at. It doesn't take long. Every space, in material is just a different, beautiful experience for the eyeballs, to be honest.
And there's LaKeith. Obviously, he's playing, dual roles in a way, but one hand he's funny, the other hand he's totally serious. You see him carrying this load, as the script goes on and on. What was that process like working with him?
Him and RJ, like some of the greatest artists of our generation, really. And so it was humbling. It was a learning experience. It was exciting. And he had a lot to carry. Yeah. Clarence alone is a lot, but of course he played Thomas too. So, I just felt for him.
Yeah.
I felt for him. It was a lot.
I was just in awe, just like, bro.
Yeah.
Every day. And he to watch him be that character specifically, right? Because, of course, he's playing two characters. So even on his off days that he thought he had, Thomas would still be playing. So it's not really an off day for LaKeith. It's an off day for Clarence. Now, we have no idea what Clarence is doing on these days. You feel me? Clarence could be at the spa, bath, or whatever. Yeah. But Thomas and LaKeith are working. And to watch him embody the characters and not slip or break from what it was and who it was you were interacting with,
Yeah.
you know that he's a savage at what he does.
Really.
Congrats on your roles.
Thank
Congrats
you.
on a film. This is definitely worth talking about. I'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you
too.
so